your best music coach. My name is Dan, and you are watching a music teacher's reaction live and in real time to Shin Megami Tensei 5 original soundtrack. I've never heard this before, not once ever, never once in my life have I heard this music. So I'm going to be reacting in real time to this as we go along live. Hey chat, how's it going? We're live streaming, so here we go. Everything I say is going to be off the top of my head. All my reactions, all my breakdowns. If I do any teaching, it's all going to be in the moment as I go. So with no further ado, which is very close to adieu. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, Ephemeral. Let's do this. Shout out to Puddin' Hunt 11. By the way, all super chats will be read at the end of the stream unless it pertains to the music that we are listening to in the moment. So make sure you hang out to the end of the stream. Nice atmospheric things going on here. I must remember to hee-ho. I don't know if I feel comfortable doing that in public. So what we're hearing a lot of here are called pads. These are synthesizers, or patches, sounds that are not, well, very focused. They create an atmosphere. They are ephemeral. But you can hear on top of that, this voice singing. It's like there's this drone. We're starting to get some detuning going on. Now, I do not have perfect pitch, so I'm going to grab this guitar so I can know what key we're in and things. Everyone's saying hee-ho. I'm getting very suspicious. This next one is called Circle. Oh, but you guys can see the title on the screen now. How cool is that? Uh-oh. Weird things are happening in the chat. I have no idea what's going on. So, it's interesting that the drone for the first song was sort of like a bee. The bee was part of it. And now it's like we're modulating up a whole step from A to B. So far, some pretty interesting tracks. I don't have a lot to talk about other than just mentioning the first track was B. There's a B in it. This last one was A to B. This is a change. We can still hear we have a pad behind. With the piano playing melody in front. Or playing single notes. Well, yeah, sure, melody. D sharp and A. So it is. I didn't get much sleep last night. I may make a couple more mistakes today as we go. Yeah, guitar. So we're just hanging out on like a 2-chord vamp here. A vamp is when you repeat 2 chords over and over again. But technically speaking, you wouldn't have a melody going over vamp, so scratch that. It's a 2-chord progression. I mean, you could have a melody going over vamp, but it wouldn't change. Because the whole point of the vamp is just repeats. There's like A minor to D minor, yeah, A minor 7. Wow, that was fun. Okay, let's see what the next one has in store for us. Oh yeah, come on now. Oh, it's like some Steve Vai sounding stuff. Well, at least the opening notes were. So, what we're hearing so far off this soundtrack is this really good groove. This is actually music that I personally like a lot. I just love simple grooves that just sound good and are like 2 or 3 chords going back and forth, because then I don't have to think about theory or harmony or anything. I can just hang out in easy peasy lemon squeezy pentatonic and major scale land. Yes, I have degrees in music. And yes, one of my degrees is in jazz. And I still prefer this. That's just my preference. So what's fun about this is that you use the F sharp over the C, which creates like a Lydian sound. Oh, that was a ton of fun. Shout out and thank you to Alessandro Coelho AC in the house for your super chats. I'll read them all at the end of the stream. Okay, let's keep this thing rocking and rolling. Seems to be like a little cutscene piece of music. Oh. Oh, something's happening. Oh, we're getting those sounds. Oh, what does that remind me of? That reminds me of... What's that plugin by Isotope where you can make the drums? It's not Break Tweaker. Okay, so things are really changing now. So part of what's happening here is things are a little out of tune with each other. That creates this real feeling of instability. And like... uncertainty. Yeah, Percy, I agree. when the first track reminded me of Celeste too. Just that sort of like chill atmosphere. So what's interesting here is before we had that transition from the A to the B of the whole step, and what we're hearing here too, it's sort of like a B flat to a C minor, but like with an F in the bass, I think, for the B flat. So perhaps that whole step ascending connection. Huh. Very interesting mix so far in this soundtrack of, yeah, stuff like this, and then just like some straight ahead groove. Very disconcerting. And again, there, almost that whole step thing from E flat to F. Not calling it an E flat to F chord, by the way, because that F also had that like tritone thing over it. But the tritone of F being B, which called back to that piece which we had previously, which is B to A, perhaps. It's like a polyrhythm of 3/2. Okay, well here's that D sharp, E flat to E thing that we actually heard before. So we're starting to see some connections. I'm going to look out for these some more, because if they come up this many times in the first couple tracks, they're sure to show up some more. Oh, now like a D. What's that? Someone biting on a saxophone reed? No, it's got to be different than that. Started off sounding like that. If you ever just put your teeth on a saxophone reed and just honked on it, you can get sounds kind of like that. Oh yeah, that's definitely a synth, but the way it was modulated, yeah, it was crazy. It almost sounded like a combination of like a French horn getting stepped on, if French horns could squeal when they got stepped on. Combined with a saxophone, just like teeth on reed. Just going for it. Yeah, you heard me. Like, imagine French horns were sentient and they made a sound when you, like... If you've ever had, like, a small friend, or a puppy, or a dog, or a cat, or something that you, like, by accident you almost step on and it, like, squeals at you in protest, it's like, no thank you, please. If there was a French horn, that's the sound a French horn would make. Oops. That was my, YouTube showing up on my phone. Okay, so before we head into the next one, which I understand is going to be really cool, I want to break down a couple of theme things. A small friend. Does anyone not have a small friend where you step on their foot or something and then they make a very high-pitched sound? I mean, like, people step on each other's toes all the time. Okay, anyway, so a couple of thematic themes we are going to look out for. Number one, we're going to look out for a whole step going back and forth. We're also going to look for D sharp or E flat to E. I'm going to assume it's D sharp. Someone in the chat says, I am the small friend. And then, golly, there was one more, and I forgot it. I'm running a little low on sleep. Perhaps I shall remember it later. Oh yes, these kind of key connections of like A minor, F, and C minor, and B. Not that we're ever really in the key of B, but we're gonna look out for those connections. Okay, let's keep this thing rocking and rolling. I love the way this is mastered. I want to turn my headphones up a little bit. I love the hi-hats. It's like 3 different hi-hats or 2 different hi-hats. Okay, so number 1, this is my favorite track so far, hands down, easiest. Reminds me a little bit of Calamity Mod, also reminds me of groups like Dream Theater and things like that in just the absolute best way. Of the Noseworthy Clan mentions, in the acoustic tracks, you could feel the experience Ryuda, I'm so sorry, I'm going to mess this up, Ryuda Kozuka had working with Shouji Meguro, but these tracks really show off his style best, I think. New here, but I can boost Kirby Planet, you got it. And remember, we're going to read all the chats at the end. Yeah, you know, in the way it's mastered too, like how smooth everything sounds and how cohesive it sounds, and it's like this, you can, Ryota Kozuka. Arigato gozaimasu. Thank you. Yeah, it's very slick, very smooth. Love it a lot. All right, let's keep it rocking and rolling. So this is something else that's happened. It happened in the last song. It's happening here too. That they're in a minor key and they're really hammering on that raised 7th. So thinking of borrowing that from either the major key so you can get the major 5, or thinking of that as harmonic minor. And this actually reminds me of the ruins from Undertale. The piano, arpeggio, the tempo, the key, and also the reverb. Oh, is it waterfall? Excuse me, thank you. I meant waterfall. Interesting piece there. All right, let's listen to the next one. Waterfall. Yeah, thanks. I stand corrected. So we're sort of like hanging out in E-land? A little. That thing up there? That's a ton of fun. That was a high note. Love it. So what we heard in this piece is actually kind of interesting. If we think about what we've heard so far, this was the 13th song. If we think about everything we've heard so far, we heard at the beginning these sort of atmospheric things where there was not a lot going on in terms of like melody or movement, things like that. Lots of drones, a single note, things like that. And here we heard a little bit of that going on, but then we also heard these new melodies and also these sort of, honestly, sort of unsettling, and I think it's meant to be that way, these unsettling soundscapes, the font that's being used, the combination, the arrangement of all the different synths coming together, just it feels a little unsettling. It feels a little weird. It feels like I'm like getting ready to fight something. This next one is called Cadaver's Hollow. Ah! It's okay. Almost got it. There, I got it. Yeah, sort of got it. All right. Let's go to the next one, which is called... Imagine I'm low on sleep today. This may take me a little longer to pick things up. Leyline Fount. So listen to how the stereo image, how it's panning. Back with, yes, panning may not be whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah, listen to how... It's just a regular wasteland, Sleepy. Not like, you know, a wasteland with ketchup. It's just a regular wasteland. No mustard. No pickles. No special sauce on the wasteland. So sort of holding F here. N64 score, I want you to know that no French horns were harmed during the making of this stream. Or any stream. Oh, yes, bass. Come on now. Oh, we've heard this chord connection before. We had E minor to C before. That was the one I couldn't remember from before. All right, come on, drums. Come on, drums. Come on, drums. Come on, here we go! Man, someone in the comment section of the post of this in the community said, "Hey Dan, I think you're gonna love the boss themes. I'm assuming this is a boss theme, and yes, I love it." This is right up my alley, man. Come on now. This isn't even a battle, it's a regular battle theme? Well, hook me up. This is not even a boss? Well, I'm in. Let's go. Oh gosh, love it. Well, listen, if that was just a regular battle theme, let's go. Let's go for the bosses, guys, because that battle theme was a ton of fun in the sun for everyone. All right, let's keep this thing rocking and rolling with A Rain of Light and Shadow. Okay, so we either have multimeter or those are just written as wow, I'm gonna call this multimeter because yeah, you could write it with triplets. Yeah, look, Voodoo, yeah, you could call it polyrhythm, and technically it is. But when you have something like this, where you clearly have two different meters happening for an extended period of time, you really can call, I mean, yes, it is polyrhythmic, and you can also call it polymeter. I mean, it depends on how the composer wrote it, sure. If you ever tried to write polymeter in Sibelius or Finale, you'll know it is the nightmare of all nightmares. But that was cool. Right, exactly. The drums are in 4/4, and then there's this sort of 3 compound thing happening, sort of like a 6/8 perhaps, we could call it. Whoa, 12/8. And I have to go back and listen to it. Anyway, there wasn't really a defined yeah, look, it's 4/3 if you. Well, hold on, but hang on. All right, hang on. We're gonna unpack this in a second. We're gonna go back and listen to that. All right, hang on. We're gonna do that. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Go back and listen after this track. Well, do it live. All right. Okay, guys, we're gonna do it live. Here we go. We're doing it live. Here we go. It's the first time ever in the history of all the streams I've ever done, we've gone backwards in the middle of a thing before we finish, but we're doing it. So really, okay, so what's happening? All right, is that the drums are in 4/4, okay? And then for each beat that the drum is making, for like each kick or snare, right? So we're going to talk about 4/4 as being like where we are. Okay, there's 3 equal divisions happening. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Which, sure, you could write that with 8th note triplets. So, all right, easy way of looking at this is we have drums in 4/4, and then we have just 8th note triplets written for that other piece. So that if you're actually writing that music down, that's the easiest way to do it. Now, if we want to start to get fancy, all right, let's start treating this like it's polymeter, just for fun. Okay, so you say it's 4/3. Okay, but hang on. Let's unpack that. Okay, I would not call this 4/3, and here's why. It's because, okay, when I think of 4/3, I'm just gonna bring my logic down. I'm gonna call it 4/3 because you have 4/3 is. Here's the thing, though, about that is that the 4/3, if you're looking at it from the perspective of each beat is divided into 16th notes, and then those 16th notes are the 4 against which the 3 of the 8th notes are played, sure, then you have 4/3. However, the 16th note is not emphasized here. It's really just the sort of strongest, weakest of the 4/4 that is emphasized, and then you have each beat. Those 3 equal divisions of each beat. So I actually would not call this a polyrhythm, though you could extrapolate a polyrhythm from it. I'd say it's polyrhythmic in the way it sounds. However, I would not call it a straight up polyrhythm. I would call it either 4/4, the other instrument is in triplets, or it's multimeter, and the multimeter that it would be a measure of 2 measures of 6/8 for every measure of 4/4, or 1 measure of 12/8 for every measure of 4/4. However, I don't think it would be 12/8 because if you listen to the pattern of the triplets, it's really it's really in these groups of 6. So those are my thoughts. Soapbox dismounted. Okay, this next one is called whatever. Read it. It's on the screen. How is that for some music theory? My goodness. Yeah, it's most likely written in 4/4, and then that other instrument's just in triplets. Well, no, Phoenix, I'm not going to commit to that because we really need to talk to the composer and understand what their intentions were. That's always the trick here. It's like those are the 2 ways we could break it down, I think. Perhaps there's a third that I'm not thinking of, but I don't think that there is. So yeah, we'd have to ask the composer or look at the score. Most likely it's triplets, because if you've ever tried to write multimeter in any type of music notation software, it's usually a headache. Yes, Voodoo. Oh my gosh, please go check it. Please go check that. I'm pretty sure the time signature is going to be 4/4. But see if there's any notes that say anything about multimeter. I'm going to get on my soapbox one more time after this. Okay, soapbox mounted. Get ready, buckle in, here we go. Look, when composers write music, when anyone writes music, okay, let me back it up. Sometimes we're not going to be able to find easily definable answers. And yeah, sure, maybe this video would be better and I'd be able to make clips of it and be able to say, look, this is definitely the way that such and such a thing, or like 3 things that so-and-so does that. But here's the thing. A lot of times, yeah, you can categorize things that simple. However, a lot of times there is not a direct answer unless you actually talk to the composer and be like, okay, how did you notate this? What were you thinking? What was the actual musical technique, the actual musical tool that you were using, the compositional tool that you were using to create this? And then you would have your definite, sure answer. But a lot of times there's gray area with the way you can interpret music. And there's more than one possible answer that would technically be correct. And then it's a matter of actually talking to the composer to find out what their artistic intention was, what they actually saw as being the thing. And then from there, then you would call it according to the composer's artistic intention. Okay. Off my soapbox now. This next one is called World of Shadows. Hey, we should turn that one into a clip, huh? This is what happens when C418 runs. Get it? Is it like Minecraft, but fast? This is beautiful. Oh! Yeah, exactly. Of Noteworthy Clan. And that's the thing about, like, you look at Sweden. Sweden's, like, technically in, like, the Dorian mode, and it never resolves, and that's part of why I was like, oh, yeah, this sounds like C418. Is because part of what keeps the whole thing with Sweden moving and grooving is that it never, well, it does occasionally fall to a 1, but not in a way that feels resolvatory. At least the way I interpret Sweden is to be Dorian. Huh. We'd have to talk to the composer, wouldn't we? Sort of Alberti style arpeggio going on here. Oh, let's do a teaching moment on that after this. That'll be fun. Okay, so what is Alberti bass? So Alberti bass was made by this guy named, I believe, Domenico. I'm perhaps saying that wrong. Alberti in 16, long time ago. And basically the whole thing was you take an arpeggio, which is like you skip notes. So it's like you play a scale. Well, that was more of a walking up down a pentachord. Well, we call it a scale. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then an arpeggio is we just take, for example, an arpeggio can take any groups of notes. We're going to take 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. Now, the way an Alberti bass goes, it's going to go. Yeah. So here there's that alternating, as opposed to if we just walk up and down the arpeggio going 1, 3, 5, 3, 1, 3, 5, 3, 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. Now we go 1, 5, 3, 5, 1, 5, well, flat 3, but yeah. 1, 5, 3, 5, 1, 5, 3, 5, 1, 5, 3, 5. You guys have heard that arpeggio everywhere in so many different games, in so many different songs, and it all goes back to Alberti. Okay, let's keep this thing rocking and rolling with the next one, called Thou Shalt Play. Yeah, Dr. Version, you hear Alberti bass on harpsichord all the time. Well, not also just the bass. Alberti bass. Why do I keep on calling it bass? Maybe that's the name of it. I don't know, I'm low on sleep. Alberti style arpeggio. Oh, is this the start of a Bon Jovi album? Okay. This one is called Oh Battle. Oh, let's go. Yes, please. Yes, please, thank you. We did hear a song in G minor before. Yeah, miss something. I just love the texture. Yeah, agreed of Noteworthy Clan. The texture of those vocal samples is wild. So what do I mean by texture? I mean the way you have it coming from all different angles, the way it stops and starts, and there's little, like the little jumps and glitches in there. It creates a texture, a sonic texture. Hey, before we go to the next one, I don't do ads on these streams. So maybe what you could do, which would be really cool, is see there's the 10 things I think every gamer should learn about music theory. It's like it's pinned in the chat over there. Go click on that link. Go get your free list, and then there's some cool offers and things where you save a bunch of money on like getting my book and stuff, and like it's really cool, and I do it for you, and you know, it's really cool, and you get free downloads, and like you get to learn cool things, and it's awesome. Just go click on it. All right, let's keep this rocking and rolling with the next one, which is called Note. Oh, I love it. There's so much going on in these. Hey, mods, grab that, please. Get the bot. Make the bots hit the floor. Make the bots hit the floor. Make the bots hit the floor. Okay. Where was I? Completely lost. Okay, let's listen to the next. Oh yeah, that song, incredibly complex, a lot going on. The textures are incredible. So even when it feels like there's not a lot going on in a song, like there's not a melody. So like when you listen to a pop song, like you can clearly hear there's a melody, there's little, instrumental hooks, little things that are memorable, easy to remember. There might not have been any hooks or anything in that, but there's still a lot going on. Voodoo, I just scrolled up and saw you wrote floor. This is actually quite a long song, so let's buckle in and... Oh, okay, we'll come back to this. We've actually heard this before. This theme. Oh my gosh, it's like Pink Floyd meets Dream Theater meets video game music. Oh my god, the bass, the way the kick is mastered. Oh my gosh. Now that was like very close to the starting of Steve Vai's For the Love of God. Different intervals at the end, but I think the composer was honestly influenced by Steve Vai. So guys, just that kick drum slash bass hit thing that's happening here, I want you to understand something. If you understand nothing about music, the way you hear that boom hit is truly right there. It's like a Picasso painting. It's like a Monet painting. It's like, go hang that in a museum somewhere because it just sounds... And to do that with everything on top of it as well, the mixing of that. I don't think we've had this chorus with this instrumental theme at the same time. I could be incorrect though. I've got the memory of a goldfish right now. I'm a little low on sleep. Thank you, Dextro. Budanon says this is the environmental themes that change over time as you progress through the apocalypse realm you are in. Yeah, agreed, Weirdness Unfolds. It's like headed towards that sort of Doom style thing. Then make sure you hang out till the very end of the stream for my final summary and reaction. This next one is called Quest Gentle. So here we are back to our whole step thing. I don't think those are wind chimes. That sounds like strings of something being strings being struck with something metallic. Very groovy, and I agree. Tasteful. This next one is called Quest Oasis. Oh, listen to that anticipation. It's like this close to reggaeton, and then it has that little... The gasolina, shamdaga gasol... Yeah, you hear it. Thanks for the shout out and support, Voodoo. But listen how those drums are not perfectly quantized to the beat, and that's part of the beauty of it. This next one is called Lord of Chaos. Ooh. Oh, that is juicy. Well, that was a ton of fun. Hey, please hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. There's a little pinned comment in the chat of 10 things I think every gamer should know about music theory. Go click on that. You're going to get some free content, like for you, for free. That is good. Anyway, thoroughly enjoyed this stream. This was the end of Disc 1. Make sure you tune back in next time for Disc 2, maybe also Disc 3. We'll see how it goes. Thank you all so much for watching. All right, my final summary and reaction. Absolutely love the groove on this entire soundtrack. Also, really, really loved the mixing, the mastering. We heard like 3 or 4 different distinct areas. Number one, we heard like this atmospheric thing that started everything off, and then we started to go into this sort of very dark, sort of crazy thing where we travel somewhere else, and then we still had a little bit of that. Oh, and then we went to the groove, right? And then we went to this weird sort of alternate reality place, and now we're back into this place where it's all mixed, where we're getting our atmospheric, we're getting our groove sometimes, we're getting the weird sort of up-downy thing, then we're also getting this sort of like metal progressive thing, which is so cool. So awesome. So I really enjoyed listening to this music. Thank you for voting and for recommending that I check this out. All right, let's go read some super chats, shall we? We're going to rock and roll. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'm going to see if I can get us some music to read the things to. Look out for part 2 coming at you in a couple of days. Let's see. There we go. That should do it. There we go. No! It's not showing me the super chats. All right, hang on one second. Let me pull this up in a different window. We're gonna make it happen. Thank you for your patience. Oh, I'm live. Look at that. I'm on my own home screen. How about that? Who'd have thunk? Okay, let's see if we got this. Oh, yeah, we got them. All right, very good. Okay, so we're reading them out. Let's go back to the beginning. Puddinghun11 says, welcome to Shin Megami Tensei, Dan and chat. Puddinghun, I think you were the one that actually recommended that we do this thing and upvoted it for reaction. So fantastic. Thank you for your support. Thanks for making this happen. I very much enjoy this music. Puddinghun11 goes on to say, this is a 35-year-old series that Persona is a spin-off of, and the creators of Pokemon were inspired by. Always remember in Shin Megami Tensei to He-Ho and One More God Rejected. Not sure what all that means. I will vote Persona 3. You got it for Persona 3. King Peggy says, you know what time it is. Trigs me up, boss. Pikachu says, and I'm translating, Pika Pika. Oh no, sorry, I had my translation settings backwards. I was doing English into Pikachu. Let me do Pikachu into English. Pikachu says, hey Dan, I'd also like to add to Persona 3. Hee-ho. Alessandro Coelho says, I see. I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. Putting 10 towards Minecraft Wild Update. Ooh. No more Devil May Cry. Much love for all you guys being so awesome. Bex Lizard says, happy Saturday, y'all. My weekly Chrono Trigger boost. You got it. While Chrono Trigger is climbing up the rankings. Hey, sir. Alessandro Coelho says, yes. And before I forget, I'd like to put this towards TLOZ, Twilight Princess. Also, liking the choice to put the current song in the screen very nice. Well, thank you, AC. I hope to do that more often as we can use things that are not YouTube to listen to the music. Austin says, "Hey man, love what you do. If they're not on the list, forgive me. I did not sleep. I'm like falling apart here. If they're not on the list already, could you please add Shin Megami Tensei 4 Digital Devil Saga, please?" Well, how about this, Austin? Because That's 5, and if I put 250 towards each, they're going to go nowhere. What if I put 5 towards Shin Megami Tensei 4? Let me know in the chat if you're cool with that. Alessandro Coelho says, one more for Metal Gear. You got it, Alessandro. Alessandro says, you're pretty good. Let's see. Of the Noteworthy Clan. It says, in the acoustic tracks, you feel the experience, oh, Lord have mercy, of Ryota Kozuka had working with Shouji Meguro. But these tracks really show off his style best, I think. New here, but I can boost Kirby Planet Robot. Alexander Lawrence says, 1, to Star Allies, 2, to return to Dreamland. Thomas SWT says, hey, I'd like to boost Kingdom of Hearts. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you for your kind words, Thomas. Let's see. Golden Pig 64. Hey, Golden Pig 64 says, Shin Megami Tensei 5, the series I love despite never playing any of the games. Anyways, put this towards Mad Rat Dead OST. That's quite the name, isn't it? Weirdness Unfolds says, I would like anything besides Ace Combat 7. Please, please, oh please. And no, just kidding. Weirdness Unfolds says this one's for Ace Combat 7, which I've taken to the skies for sure. Indeed, Weirdness Unfolds. Also can't wait for the Minotaur. Obviously, I'm not sure what that means. And still Crash Landing says, found you through Final Fantasy VII OST series. Well, welcome, Still Crash Landing. First time I've been here live. Well, double welcome, Still Crash Landing. I love to see you enjoying an overlooked part of the gaming experience. Indeed, the soundtracks. And word to the wise, I actually generally don't experience the soundtracks while I'm gaming because I like listening to podcasts while I game. I know it's weird and that's crazy, but that's just how I like doing it. When I was younger, I didn't. And then, you have like those, A Link to the Past, Super Mario World, things like that, where, yeah, the music is part of the life of the game. For me, anyway. I'm not saying that newer games isn't, okay, whatever. I'm digging myself into a hole. Yeah, I know, Bex Lizard. I know, but you know what? It's what makes me happy, and that's what counts. I'm getting so sidetracked. Okay, Still Crash Landing says, puts words Devil May Cry 5. Bury the Light is going to melt your face. Well, Still Crash Landing, I look forward to it melting my face. Let's do this. Oh, look at that. Kenneth Elder says, love the OST breakdowns you do as a musical layman. Shin Megami Tensei 5 is great and not even my favorite. Ooh. Vote towards Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. Intradasting Videos says, Final Fantasy 8, please. You got it, Intradasting. Music is a huge part of the experience. I agree. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm absolutely not saying you're wrong. It's just what makes me happy. That's literally, I just love that visual stimulation and tactile stimulation of playing the game and then just listening to people smarter than me talk about stuff that's interesting. Anyway, let's see, where was we? Rubberman 202. Hey, Rubberman 202. Rubberman says, just thought I'd pop by and once again request that you react to Mother 1, also known as Earthbound Beginnings. And Oshin, think I'm saying that right. If my Gaelic is up and running. Oshin Keller says, I found you through your Final Fantasy VII React videos, which were awesome. Well, thanks so much, and thanks for watching that. I would love to see your reaction to Trails in the Sky and its sequels. Oh, you got it. We're going to put Trails in the Sky for sure for you, Shin. And Blarfengar says, hee ho. Voodoo says, love your content. Well, thank you, Voodoo. Really do appreciate the support. And Blarfengar says, love the channel, man. I hope someday you react to the soundtrack of 13 Sentinels, Age of Swim. We're going to upvote that with your super chat for sure. Blarfengar also says, and if you like the Shin Megami Tensei 5 soundtrack, you should also check out Shin Megami Tensei 3 and 4. And we have one more super chat coming in from Zaxter89. Hey, Zaxter. Zaxter says, I'd like to put this towards Kirby's Superstar to put on the list. Well, guys, I've got 60 seconds AMA in the chat. Real quick, let's go. Ask me anything. Go, go, go. Got 60 seconds. Go, 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 go. Ask me anything. Ask me anything. Anything. Literally anything. Watching this on demand, there's a slight delay between the talking and the typing. Age 30, I think. Tacos. Oh, tacos. Ooh, that's a tough one. Depends on my mood. It's going to be chicken or it's going to be beef. Sometimes also okay with a tofu taco. Those are nice. Am I good at chess? No, but I would love to be. Any pets? No, but I would love to have a dog. I have raised a dog and would love to have another one sometime soon. What do we got to do to read your book? Hey, well, of Noteworthy Clan, if you click on that 10 things every musician should think about things, it's actually going to take you to a heavily discounted version of my book that I'm kind of like giving away for free. So, yeah, that would be a way to do that. Favorite soundtrack react so far? Angel. Well, I really like this one. I think my favorite so far would be DM Calamity Mod. What camera do I use? Sony Alpha 5. Favorite video game composer? Ooh, that's tough. I'll have to take a rain check on that one. Favorite anime? I'm not big into anime. I did watch the Star Wars anime on Disney Plus that they did with the Jedi. That was really cool. The Star Wars stories. That was a lot of fun. Am I a real person or a sentient guitar? I am actually a deep fake created by Dan, who is currently actually sleeping because he didn't sleep last night. Let's see. Where did I get my degrees? The first one was from Music Academy International in France. It is a partner school of Berklee College of Music. The second was from Montclair State University of all places. Where did I learn music theory? I learned, okay. Goody. I'm gonna answer that question. Look, when I learned music theory, I'm gonna tell you a story. I actually failed my music theory entrance exam into college. So I'd already got my first, like literally, that bottom one right there, I'd already got that one. And like thought I knew everything about music theory, and also had taught myself music theory, had spent my entire senior year of high school working on understanding the basics of music theory. And then I got to college to go to Montclair State University, and I literally failed my music theory entrance exam. And I was like, what the heck is going on? I couldn't understand it. And that's because if you think about it, at the base level, there's like two different worlds of music theory. There's like jazz pop theory, and then there's classical theory. Now, here's the thing. Unless you know both of these at the beginning and you can interface both of these together at the beginning, it's like you're not going to get everything. So like I understood jazz pop theory perfectly, but someone asked me what an anacrusis was, and I was like, I have no idea what an anacrusis is. An anacrusis is a pickup measure or a pickup bar, and I just had no clue. So a bunch of things like that came up in the entrance exam, and I failed my entrance exam. And so that's why I was like, okay, hang on. I want to teach everyone how to learn and understand music theory, but I want to do it in a way where you can take both those worlds, start from the very beginning, understand the jazz, the pop, and the classical, so that you're never a fish out of water and you never get to a point where you're like failing an entrance exam after you've already done several years of music theory because you just don't know the specific terms and all the different things and the different ways of understanding and analyzing things. Like, how would you know that a pickup bar or a pickup measure is also called an anacrusis? Favorite classical composer, this is gonna be the last one for today, is Ludwig van Beethoven. Y'all have a fantastic one. I'll see you next time.